Round 2 of Superlap 2021 was at Pukekohe Park Raceway. This was my first actual event here, having only done a couple of track days in the past. To complicate things further, this round of the Tasman Revival was using the old layout, which omits the bus stop, the chase-style complex on the back straight. That simple change makes the back straight the fastest bit of track I've ever driven, seeing a VMAX of over 180 km an hour, which is no small achievement in a 140 horsepower car on a racetrack. Pukekohe also boasts much faster corners than Taupo or Hampton Downs. I was taking turn 1, notorious for its bumps at over 150, before braking hard for the first complex. Hopping the curbs and then dipping down to just over 80 km an hour in third gear for Castrol. Then it's foot hard down for the back straight, which is over a kilometre long. Yeah, it takes a while in the Sentra. We drove straight past the right-hander leading into the bus stop and continued to the hairpin, which is a big stop from 180 down to 50-ish k's for me, with some competitors having to wipe off 50 k's more than that. In a low-power car, the hairpin is crucial, because as you'll see, I won't be slowing down again this lap. Turn 6 is taken flat, and I shift to 4th for the climb up the dramatically named mountain bend that everyone just calls the hill. Despite being at full throttle, I'm not gaining any speed here, hovering around 145 until the crest, holding on as every bump threatens to upset the car. Then it's down the hill to the start-finish, maxing out at about 173. And then a little dab of brakes for turn 1 again. After first stint, some lighting hardware went missing. I can't explain it. Stint 2, and here's Mark Greeny and Brendan Purdy in their V8s. Then Chris Sharp in his Audi S3, my only competitor in Pro Street. Luke Hunter and his Turbo 20-valve Starlet. Rachel Flynn in the now somewhat fiddled E36 325i, Ashneil Lal in his Toyota Chaser, that had also seen some upgrades between rounds, and a very nearly stock Nissan Sentra. Here we're on board with Brendan and his VK Commodore Big Banger tribute, chasing down Mark's M5 V8 powered BMW E36. This car has a 6.2 litre Corvette V8, a Toyota 5-speed and a 300ZX diff, so under the skin there's not much in common with its stylistic inspiration, the Group 3 touring cars of the 80s. It pulls 230 plus on the straight without breaking a sweat. In the end, Mark decides that discretion is the better part of valour. And Mark's 3 Series is no slouch, achieving similar top speed on the straight. The U39 M5 that donated its 4.9 litre V8 and 6-speed weighed half a tonne more than this car, and was, at its launch, the fastest factory 4-door car in the world. was already setting faster times than in the first stint, but since we only had one grid this round rather than the fast-slow split we had at Taupo, it wasn't long until the faster guys caught me up. Here's Greg Hurst in his MR2 that someone told me has a V6 or something. It was encouraging that I was able to hold the gap through the twisty bits, reinforcing my belief that I only need a couple hundred more horsepower to be truly competitive. Rachel was circulating a few tenths faster than me, her BMW making its displacement known on the straights. Ben van der Werf was the next to reel me in his Evo 8. Again, with some commitment, I was able to hold onto the back of the faster car and even make up a little bit of road before he walked away from me down the back straight. Here's Brian Matchett in his VX HSV GTS. Mark got it a bit wrong heading into turn 2 and went up on the curb that everyone says not to go up on, but he was able to rejoin. Now here's probably the biggest speed differential of the day as Brendan reels me in along the back straight. My times had improved, but so had everyone else's. It was time to take steps. It turns out you don't need a passenger seat in the Pro Street class, and you never need to encourage Todd much before he's pulling unnecessary parts off.
Performance plus.
I managed to take a chunk out of my hand on the way through, though.
Ow. Ow, 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 feel that, ow, ow, ow.
Stint 3 I came out determined to up the pace again, which I did, beating Rachel by a quarter of a second. I was still a tenth slower than her Stint 2 time, however, so she was ahead at the end of Saturday. I was also just 2/100ths of a second adrift of Ashnell's Chaser. We packed up and headed home, ready for a fresh start on Sunday. Until this happened.
Based on this, we are in the unfortunate but necessary position of needing to protect Aucklanders once again. That is why Cabinet met this evening and made the decision that Auckland will need to move to Alert Level 3 for a period of 7 days. The rest of New Zealand will move to Level 2, and made the decision that Auckland will need to move to Alert Level 3.
for a period of 7 days.
Auckland going into lockdown meant the second day of racing couldn't go ahead, and worse yet, there were dozens of race cars at the track that would have to be rescued before the 6 AM lockdown. Luckily, Gary Sterling is a legend, and he and his dedicated team opened the track back up and stayed until after midnight so that all the cars could be retrieved. Eventually, the new date for the second day was announced, and the event will continue on Saturday, March the 13th. Brendan was officially fastest on Saturday.
I mean, I was kind of hoping to have a chance to possibly beat my time first thing in the morning,
Yeah,
and of course to give everyone a
chance to.
opportunity to beat it as well.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's
Oh well. Could be
for
worse.
everyone. So
Well, I ended up dead last, so.
did you?
Yeah.
Well, you were only.
I was like 1/10
Rachel had
behind.
only been fractions.
It was like
faster.
a tenth of a second. Which, yeah, whatever. Next up is the rescheduled day 2. See you then.
Ow, 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 ow. Feel that? Ow, ow, ow.
Oh, you got a little boo-boo.
Yeah, and then I poured alcohol into it.
That's dumb. Alcohol's supposed to go into your mouth. What a waste.
Oh, yeah.
Drink the alcohol into the thing.